I'm Pradosh Sharma and you're watching Ritam. Today we address a growing concern that is spreading under the guise of fairness and inclusion but is creating divisions instead. What began to show movements to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in the West has now shockingly become a vehicle for fostering bias and hatred against the natives of India. Let's start with a case study that highlights this troubling trend. Recent findings from a Rutgers University and Network Contagion Research Institute study revealed that some DEI programs are actively spreading stereotypes and normalizing hostility towards Hindus, while unjustifiably portraying certain other communities in a favorable light, much like how Jews were vilified in the Nazi Germany. But before we move ahead, let's first understand what does DEI stands for. DEI is an approach adopted by companies, institutions, and governments to create a fair and inclusive environment. Here, diversity means recognizing and respecting differences among people like race, gender, religion, or caste. Equity means fairness, ensuring everyone has the resources they need to succeed. And inclusion means creating a space where everyone feels welcome, respected, and included. While DEI programs sound progressive and promising, recent findings show that they are often being misused to create divisions instead of unity. Now, if we delve deeper into this study, which evaluated caste sensitivity training materials by Equality Labs, an anti-Hindu activism group, has been found to perpetuate negative perceptions, especially of Brahmin caste. For example, participants exposed to these materials were more likely to agree with dehumanizing statements, even when words like Jew in Adolf Hitler's quotes were replaced with Brahmin. Disturbingly, phrases like Brahmins are parasites and the devil personified saw a staggering increase in agreement among respondents. Such rhetoric not only undermines the very premise of DEI, but also creates a dangerous precedent for scapegoating a particular community. History has shown us how dehumanizing language can lead to catastrophic consequences. The Holocaust, which resulted in the genocide of 6 million Jews, were preceded by decades of systematic hate propaganda. The parallels are chilling. The so-called caretakers of equality, the Equality Labs, is a South Asian Dalit organization and a self-proclaimed American civil rights group focused on addressing caste discrimination, but it is said that it is funded by some Pakistani-backed separatist groups trying to disrupt peace and harmony in India. The Rutgers NCRI study highlights Equality Labs anti-caste training and found that such programs worsen anti-Hindu discrimination and hate. Even the Hindu American Foundation pointed out that instead of fighting discrimination, the DEI program was in fact promoting bias. What's even more concerning is the normalization of anti-Hindu sentiments, which is not just a problem within the community, but it is a threat to India's social harmony and unity. By the way, in India, this hatred is not new. The anti-Hindu narrative has been fueled by historical incidents like the Kashmiri Pandits massacre and Exodus in the 1980s, and also the 1948 riots in Maharashtra, where Brahmins were targeted following the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi by Nathuram Godse, are stark reminders of how systematic hate can escalate into violence. Despite these atrocities, the plight of these communities is often downplayed or dismissed under the guise of social justice. Even today, we see calls for violence from political leaders like Udayanithi Stalin, who equated Sanatan Dharma to diseases like dengue and malaria in his speeches. Anti-Hindu sentiments are also perpetuated through cinema, media, and even politics, further entrenching the idea that Hindus are oppressors deserving of hate. It is time to address this dangerous trend head-on. Promoting equality should never come at the expense of demonizing any religion or community. As a society, we must reject divisive narratives, whether they come in the form of DEI programs or historical distortions. India's strength lies in its diversity, and we must protect that by fostering true inclusivity and not selective vilification. Jai Hind.